There are many people who do everything right but still feel powerless. The problem isn't age. The problem is a single gap that no one tells you about. And in this video, I'll show you what it is, step by step. If those words resonated with you, if you feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to do and still wondering why your body doesn't feel as strong as it should, then this video is for you. I've spent over 3 decades in clinical medicine, focusing on internal medicine and geriatrics, working with adults over 60 who come to me with this exact frustration. They eat their vegetables, they take their walks, they follow the advice their doctors give them, and yet something still feels off. They feel weaker than they think they should, they feel less steady, they feel tired in ways that don't quite make sense given how hard they're trying. And here's what I want you to know right from the start. The problem is almost never that you're not trying hard enough. The problem is almost always that there's a gap in what you're doing, a missing piece that nobody explained to you because, frankly, most standard health advice wasn't designed with your specific needs in mind. It was designed for the general population, often younger adults, and it just doesn't address the particular challenges your body faces after 60. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what that gap is. I'm going to give you a framework of 5 specific pillars that, when addressed together, can transform how your body feels and functions. And I'm going to give you a simple plan you can start this week, with exercises you can do at home without any equipment, along with ways to track your progress so you can actually see the changes happening. But first, let me explain what we really mean when we talk about weakness after 60, because it's not just one thing. When my patients tell me they feel weak, they might mean several different things. Sometimes they mean they don't have the strength they used to, that lifting things feels harder, that their legs give out more easily. Sometimes they mean they feel unsteady, that stairs have become intimidating, that they don't trust their balance the way they once did. Sometimes they mean they run out of energy quickly, that they can walk for a while but then feel drained for the rest of the day. Sometimes they mean their reactions feel slower, that if they stumble, they're not sure they can catch themselves. And sometimes they mean they've lost confidence in their body, that they're not sure what they can and can't do anymore. All of these are real. All of these matter. And here's the important thing. Standard advice like eat healthy and take a walk every day addresses only a small piece of this picture. Walking is wonderful for your heart and your overall circulation, but walking alone doesn't build the kind of strength you need to catch yourself if you trip. It doesn't train the balance reactions that keep you steady on uneven surfaces. It doesn't maintain the core stability that protects your back and helps you move confidently. It doesn't preserve the upper body muscles that let you carry groceries or open heavy doors or brace yourself when you need to. This is the gap. The missing piece isn't more effort. It's addressing the right systems. Let me explain this through what I call the 5 pillars framework. These are the 5 areas that, in my clinical experience, make the biggest difference for adults over 60 who want to feel strong, steady, and capable in their daily lives. Most common advice focuses on only 1 or 2 of these. When you address all 5, even in simple ways, the results compound. You start to feel different within weeks. The first pillar is lower body power. Now, I want to be clear about the difference between strength and power, because this is something that often gets overlooked. Strength is your ability to exert force, like pushing against something heavy. Power is your ability to exert force quickly, like standing up from a chair briskly or catching yourself when you stumble. After 60, power tends to decline faster than strength. You might still be able to push against resistance if you take your time, but the quick, explosive capacity diminishes. And that matters because real life often requires quick movements. Climbing stairs requires power, getting up from a low seat requires power, recovering your balance when you trip requires power. The good news is that power responds very well to training, even simple training. The exercise I recommend for this pillar is the chair sit to stand, but done with a specific focus on speed during the standing phase. Here's how to do it. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Cross your arms over your chest or place your hands on your thighs. Now stand up as briskly as you safely can, pushing through your heels. Then lower yourself back down slowly and with control. taking about 3 seconds to sit. The key is the contrast. Fast up, slow down. The fast up builds power. The slow down builds control and strength. Start with 5 repetitions. Rest for 30 seconds. Do another set of 5. If 5 feels too easy, add a few more. If it feels too hard, use your hands on the armrests to assist. The common mistake I see is people lowering themselves too quickly and flopping into the chair. That controlled descent is important because it trains your muscles through the full range and protects your joints. As you progress over a few weeks, you can increase to 8 or 10 repetitions per set. You can add a third set. You can try sitting to a lower surface, like a shorter chair or a step, but always maintain that same rhythm: quick up, controlled down. This single exercise done consistently can make a noticeable difference in how you feel on stairs and when getting out of your car. The second pillar is balance, specifically ankle and hip strategy. When you lose your balance, your body has 2 main ways to recover. The ankle strategy involves subtle shifts at your ankles to keep you centered. The hip strategy involves larger movements at your hips when the ankle strategy isn't enough. Both of these can be trained. And here's something that surprises many people: balance isn't just about your inner ear or your brain. It's also about the strength and responsiveness of your ankles and hips. The exercise I recommend here is the supported heel raise with a hold. Stand behind a sturdy chair, holding the back lightly for support. Rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. Now hold at the top for 2 to 3 seconds. Then lower down slowly. The hold at the top is crucial because it challenges your balance and builds the calf strength that supports ankle stability. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions. As you get comfortable, try using lighter and lighter finger contact on the chair. Eventually, you might be able to do these with just fingertips touching for reassurance, or even no support at all. You can also try them with your eyes closed, though only when you're very comfortable and have support nearby, because removing visual input dramatically increases the balance challenge. A common mistake is rushing through these without the hold. The magic is in that pause at the top where your balance is challenged. Another mistake is gripping the chair tightly. You want to use the chair for light support, not as a crutch. In a moment, I'll show you how these exercises fit into a weekly schedule, but first let me explain the remaining pillars because they all work together. The third pillar is core stability, specifically anti-rotation. When most people think of core exercises, they think of crunches or sit-ups. But for adults over 60, what matters most isn't the ability to curl your torso forward. What matters is the ability to keep your spine stable and protected while your limbs move. This is called anti-rotation or anti-flexion, and it's what prevents back pain and allows you to move confidently through daily activities. Think about carrying a bag on one side of your body. Your core has to resist the pull of that weight to keep you upright. Think about reaching forward to pick something up. Your core has to stabilize your spine so your back doesn't round excessively. This kind of stability is different from the flexibility or the crunching motion that old-fashioned core exercises trained. The exercise I recommend is the bird dog hold. Start on your hands and knees on a comfortable surface, maybe a carpet or a yoga mat if you have one. Your hands should be under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Now, slowly extend your right arm forward and your left leg backward until both are roughly parallel to the floor. The key is to keep your hips and shoulders level, not rotating or tilting. Hold this position for 5 to 10 seconds, breathing normally, then lower and switch sides. This looks simple, but it's surprisingly challenging if you focus on keeping everything stable. The common mistake is letting the hip drop on the side where the leg is extended or arching the lower back excessively. Imagine you have a glass of water balanced on your lower back that you don't want to spill. That image helps people find the right level of stability. Start with 5 holds on each side, holding for 5 seconds. As you progress, extend the hold time to 10 seconds, then 15. You can also add more repetitions. This exercise builds the deep stabilizing muscles of your core and improves the cross-body coordination that's essential for walking and moving confidently. The fourth pillar is pulling and posture muscles. Modern life involves a lot of reaching forward, whether you're typing, driving, cooking, or eating, but it involves very little pulling. Over time, this imbalance weakens the muscles of your upper back and the back of your shoulders, contributing to rounded posture, shoulder problems, and difficulty with tasks like carrying heavy bags or opening heavy doors. For this pillar, I recommend a simple exercise you can do at home without any weights, the doorway towel pull, which is an isometric exercise. Here's how it works. Take a sturdy bath towel and hold it at both ends. Stand in a doorway and wrap the towel around the door handle or hook it behind the door. Now step back until the towel is taut and you're holding it with your arms extended in front of you. From this position, pull the towel toward your body as if you're rowing, but the door provides resistance so your arms don't actually move much. Hold this pulling tension for 5 to 10 seconds, then relax. That's one repetition. The beauty of isometric exercises is that they build strength without moving your joints through ranges that might be uncomfortable. You're simply holding tension. If you have shoulder issues, you can adjust the angle and intensity to find a position that doesn't cause pain. An alternative, if you don't have a suitable doorway set up, is the standing scapular squeeze. Stand tall with your arms at your sides. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and slightly down as if you're trying to hold a pencil between them. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. Repeat. Both exercises target the pulling muscles and the posture muscles that counteract the forward rounded position. Start with 5 to 8 holds. Progress by increasing hold time or adding more repetitions. Now, here's where many people make a critical mistake. They focus only on exercise and neglect the fifth pillar, which is recovery, protein, timing, and sleep rhythm. This is perhaps the most underappreciated pillar of all, and it's often the reason why people do everything right with exercise and still don't see results. After 60, your body becomes what researchers call anabolically resistant. This means your muscles don't respond to protein as efficiently as they did when you were younger. You need more protein, distributed throughout the day, to trigger the same muscle-maintaining signals. If you're eating most of your protein at dinner, which is common, your muscles are going without adequate fuel for most of the day. And all that exercise you're doing can't build anything if the raw materials aren't there when needed. Similarly, sleep is when your body does most of its repair work. If your sleep is fragmented or insufficient, your muscles don't recover properly from the training stimulus. You end up tired, sore, and not getting stronger despite your efforts. Here's the practical advice for this pillar. Aim to include a meaningful protein source at every meal, not just dinner. Breakfast and lunch matter just as much, maybe more. Think eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, fish, chicken, beans, or whatever protein sources work for your diet. The goal is to give your muscles a signal throughout the day, not just once in the evening. For sleep, focus on consistency. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day helps regulate your body's recovery rhythms. If you're eating heavily late at night, try shifting some of that food earlier to improve sleep quality. This pillar doesn't involve an exercise, but it supports everything else you're doing. Without adequate protein and sleep, the other 4 pillars can't work properly. Think of it as the foundation beneath the foundation. Now let me give you the practical weekly plan, the schedule you can start this week. I've designed this to be realistic for adults over 60, taking into account that you have a life, that you might have some physical limitations, and that sustainability matters more than intensity. Your week will have 3 training days, 2 light activity days, and 2 rest days. On training days, you'll do all 5 exercises. This takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Here's the sequence. Start with the chair sit to stand for power. Do 2 sets of 5 to 8 repetitions with a 30-second rest between sets. Next, do the supported heel raises for balance. Do 1 set of 8 to 10 repetitions with the 2 to 3 second hold at the top. Then move to the floor for the bird dog holds. Do 5 holds on each side, holding 5 to 10 seconds each. Finally, do the doorway towel pull or standing scapular squeeze. Do 5 to 8 holds of 5 to 10 seconds each. On light activity days, simply go for a walk or do gentle stretching. These days help your body recover while keeping you moving. On rest days, truly rest. Your muscles grow and adapt during rest, not during exercise. Rest is not laziness. It's part of the program. A sample week might look like this. Monday is a training day. Tuesday is a light activity day, maybe a 20-minute walk. Wednesday is a training day. Thursday is rest. Friday is a training day. Saturday is a light activity day. Sunday is rest. Your total exercise time for the week is about 45 to 60 minutes, spread across 3 sessions. That's manageable for almost everyone, and it's enough to make real progress if you're consistent. Let me address modifications for common issues. If you have knee pain, you can make the sit to stand easier by using a higher chair or by using your hands on the armrests to assist. You can also reduce the range of motion, not sitting down quite as far. If you have shoulder pain, you can skip the towel pull and focus only on the scapular squeeze, which involves less shoulder movement. You can also do a gentler version where you don't pull as hard. If you have balance concerns, always keep a sturdy support within arm's reach. Never try the unsupported versions until you feel completely confident, and even then, have a wall or chair nearby just in case. Now let me teach you how to track your progress, because seeing improvement is motivating and helps you stay consistent. I recommend 3 simple tests you can do at home. The first is the 30-second sit-to-stand test. Sit in a sturdy chair with your arms crossed over your chest. Have someone time you or use a timer on your phone. When you start the timer, stand up and sit down as many times as you can in 30 seconds. Count the number of complete stand-ups. Write down your number. Repeat this test every 2 weeks and compare. You should see your number gradually increase. The second test is the single leg stand. Stand near a counter or sturdy chair for safety, but try not to touch it unless you need to. Lift one foot slightly off the ground and see how long you can balance. Time yourself up to 30 seconds. If you can reach 30 seconds, try the other leg. If you need to touch the support, note how many seconds you lasted. Repeat every 2 weeks and track your improvement. The third test is optional but useful. Give yourself a stair confidence score from 1 to 10. Ask yourself how confident you feel climbing a full flight of stairs and coming back down. 1 means very uncomfortable and nervous. 10 means completely confident. This subjective score often improves as your power and balance improve, and it reflects how the training translates to real life. Before we go further, I need to give you some important safety information. These exercises are designed to be safe for most adults over 60, but everyone is different. Stop immediately if you feel sharp pain, dizziness, chest pain, or significant shortness of breath. These are signals that something isn't right, and you should consult your doctor before continuing. If you have heart disease, uncontrolled blood pressure, recent surgery, severe arthritis, osteoporosis with fracture history, or other serious conditions, please talk with your clinician before starting any new exercise routine. This information is educational, not medical advice for your specific situation. Your doctor knows your health history and can help you modify these exercises appropriately. Also, always exercise in a safe environment. Make sure your chair is sturdy and doesn't slide. Have a wall or solid support nearby when doing balance exercises. Wear shoes that grip the floor. Never exercise when you're very tired, dehydrated, or feeling unwell. I want to take a moment to speak directly to you, because I know how frustrating it can be to feel like you're doing everything right and still not seeing results. In my practice, I've seen this pattern so many times. Patients come in having walked every day for years, eaten their vegetables, followed the standard advice, and they're still losing ground. They're still feeling weaker. They're still worried about falling. What I try to help them understand is that they weren't doing anything wrong. They were just missing pieces of the puzzle. The advice they got was incomplete, not because their doctors didn't care, but because this more nuanced approach simply isn't part of standard recommendations yet. The research exists. Clinical evidence clearly shows that power, balance, core stability, pulling strength, and recovery all matter independently and together. But this knowledge hasn't fully made it into mainstream guidance. You now have that knowledge. You understand the 5 pillars. You have specific exercises for each one. You have a weekly schedule you can follow. You have tests to track your progress. This is the framework that was missing. And here's the most encouraging part. Your body will respond. It doesn't matter that you're over 60. It doesn't matter if you've lost some ground over the years. Your muscles can still adapt. Your balance can still improve. Your core can still stabilize, your posture muscles can still strengthen, and when you support all of this with proper protein and sleep, the results compound. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s transform their confidence and capability with approaches like this, not because they found some magic solution, but because they started addressing the right things consistently. That's what I want for you. Let me ask you something, and I'd genuinely like to hear your answer in the comments. First, tell me how old you are and where you're watching from. I love hearing from viewers around the world, and it helps me understand who this information is reaching. Second, tell me about your biggest daily struggle. Is it stairs? Is it getting up from a low seat? Is it carrying things? Is it feeling unsteady on uneven ground? Is it fatigue that doesn't seem to match your effort? Understanding what challenges you most helps me create content that addresses your real needs. Let me recap what we've covered today because I want these 5 pillars to stay with you. Pillar 1 is lower body power. Train the quick, explosive capacity to stand, climb, and recover from stumbles, using the chair sit to stand with a focus on fast up, controlled down. Pillar 2 is balance and ankle hip strategy. Train the subtle adjustments that keep you steady using supported heel raises with holds, progressing to lighter and lighter support. Pillar 3 is core stability and anti-rotation. Train the deep stabilizers that protect your back and allow confident movement using the bird dog hold, with attention to keeping hips and shoulders level. Pillar 4 is pulling and posture muscles. Train the upper back and shoulder blade muscles that counteract forward rounding and support carrying and bracing using the doorway towel pull or standing scapular squeeze. Pillar 5 is recovery, protein timing, and sleep rhythm. Support all the other pillars by giving your muscles the protein they need throughout the day and the sleep they need to recover and adapt. Address all 5, even simply. Do it consistently. Track your progress with the home tests, and watch what happens. The difference between people who maintain strength and independence as they age and those who gradually lose ground is rarely about genetics or luck. It's about whether they're addressing the right things. Walking is great, but it's not enough by itself. Eating healthy is important, but it matters when and what you eat. Standard advice gets you partway there, but the 5 pillars take you the rest of the way. You don't need to work harder, you need to work more completely. You need to fill the gap. I hope this video has given you clarity and a path forward. If it has, I'd be grateful if you'd share it with someone else who might benefit, a friend, a spouse, a family member who's been frustrated by the same pattern. And if you'd like more content like this, explaining practical approaches to staying strong and capable as you age, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. I'm creating these videos to help as many people as possible, and your subscription helps more people find this information. Most importantly, start. Pick your first training day this week. Do the 5 exercises. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent. Your body will respond. Your confidence will build. And the weakness that's been frustrating you will begin to lift. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.